Hello, I'm Tom Long. Welcome to Island Meditations. This Sunday seemed to me to be the perfect Sunday to explain the theme of what it is that I'm trying to do in these Island Meditations, because this is the third Sunday after Epiphany, and the psalm reading for this Sunday comes from the first collection of David's Psalms in the book of Psalms. And in that psalm, David describes so beautifully the experience that I myself have had in coming to an awareness of the fact that there is a personal, higher power. I won't keep you waiting. The psalm I'm referring to, the theme song of this series, if you will, is Psalm 19. Our musician, archer, and slingshot warrior who became king, King David, wrote this: "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. They have no speech, they use no words, no sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. In the heavens God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. It rises at one end of the heavens and makes its circuit to the other. Nothing is deprived of its warmth." Every time I read these opening verses of this psalm, I'm transported back to when I was a teen. I had been playing my guitar and singing in a tiny coffee house in the basement of a church adjacent to the downtown campus of West Virginia University. The place was packed and became quite warm, especially under the pre-LED stage lights. I stepped out into the parking lot, a young atheist looking to cool off between sets. But as I looked up at stars shining down from the inky black darkness of the sky into which they were set, I had this epiphany that this vast expanse of space, the details of each atom and each molecule of matter, the incredible complexity and enormity of the cosmos, all of this could not be accidental. This was a design of such intricacy and vast scope of imagination that God was the only possibility. I had walked out into the parking lot, an atheist. I walked back into the coffee house, a teenage boy who now believed in God, transformed by the voice of the heavens. Part of what I want to do with this series of videos is to let creation speak for itself. Let it speak to me, and let it speak to anyone who views one of my videos. That's why I include so many clips of nature scenes in these videos. But the other part of this series is to meditate on who the designer was and what that means for myself and the people of the world. To get the answers to those questions, like King David, I found that I need more than the awe inspired by God's creation. I need the information and inspiration found in the words of the Bible. David put it this way: "The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The statutes of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, giving joy to the heart. The commands of the Lord are radiant, giving light to the eyes. The fear of the Lord is pure, enduring forever. The decrees of the Lord are firm, and all of them are righteous. They are more precious than gold, than much pure gold. They are sweeter than honey from the honeycomb. By them your servant is warned. In keeping them there is great reward." There have been some brilliant physicists from all parts of the world, but no one scientist or team of scientists has been able to grasp every detail of how the physical world is held together or how it all works together. In the same way, no human mind is going to fathom the depth and breadth of all philosophical and spiritual truth. In fact, the prophet Isaiah shared God's own warning to us about that. In Isaiah 55:9, God said, "As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. But to say that we can't know it all isn't the same as saying that we can't know anything. Moses wrote, "The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the things revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may follow all the words of this law." What we learn from observing and studying nature and God's Word is enough to guide us in how we choose to live. Maya Angelou put it this way: do the best you can until you know better. When you know better, do better. And so I will continue to look at the world as a reminder that there is a God and that God is great. I will continue to read and meditate upon how that Creator has revealed Himself in words and what that means about how we, who are created in God's image, should therefore be living. So, for this episode and the rest of this series, may these words of my mouth and this meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock and my Redeemer.